titanium muffler. Thank you for the 4RS permanently and redoing a diffuser and all the rest, but that's a lot of shit to remake and build and all that. So not ideal. Not ideal. So let's see. Quack. Everybody's a duck. Quack quack. Um the the best result is one that satisfies as many of the criteria as we can get away with. And we were willing to sacrifice sound a little bit, but quite frankly, this is why 90% of you guys buy uh, an exhaust. I can make you 400 horsepower with an exhaust, and if it sounded like ass, you wouldn't buy it. So, it, prioritizing power is always important to us, but listening to what our customers want so that we'll sell a thing is probably more important most of the time, because otherwise we just wasted a bunch of time making something nobody wants. There you go. So that is the path. Charles has spent most of this week redesigning the internals of the muffler so that we can have our cake and eat it too. That's what we're trying to do. The other thing that happened, and we'll get this up here in a second. Those of you who are on the YouTube channel, which I can't tell how many are on there. 5. There's 5 of you. I don't know which 5 of you are on there, but you can see the picture of the 4RS wing. I would ask all of you that are here on Instagram if you can pull up another screen on YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel, Dundon Motorsports on YouTube. You will see my pretty, my oh so pretty face with my fuzziness. I appreciate that, Kawi SS. You like the swan neck wing. That's awesome. If you guys can head over to YouTube, you can see all the pictures. I can, Lawlence, nice to see you. I can take questions from Instagram. You can see your questions on Instagram, on YouTube, and I can take questions on YouTube. Killer. So before we get too far down the road with the swan neck, which we'll get to, can we do the sound bites of the revs on the 4RS? Oh, you're going to make me do them on Instagram? We're not going to do them on YouTube? Oh, we got a both? We got a both. This is so fun. Yeah, that's a good shot. Man, Justin always knows how to take good pictures. iPhones suck. That looks nice on there. I agree. Looks appropriate and purposeful. Purposeful. Tarek Antabi, how are you, brother? Got folks all the way from Saudi Arabia joining. Like, dude, is it like 3 in the morning? I know he's a DJ. He doesn't sleep. Um, let's see what else. What else can I stall for before we're getting some things together? Last week at the track, we had an unsavory incident that happened amongst our group of track friends. Unsavory incident was a loss of brakes. Loss of brakes came from a brake line that was braided against a wheel because it was not, the brake line was not pulled away from the wheel adequately to prevent abrasion. So I urge all of my friends and my track brethren, please check yo shit. That's a technical term for ensure that all of the things on your car are appropriately put together so that bad things don't happen to you on track. Check yo shit. There you go. You know, make a sticker. Check yo shit. So that you check yo shit and you don't end up going on a 90-mile-an-hour dirt safari in a $200,000 car. No fun. So, all right. Are we able to YouTube? Good. All right. Let's hear some YouTube revs of what a titanium GT3 muffler looks like on a 4RS. Do one more. So that's what we expect it to sound like in the new muffler. Is just like that. We've got some demonstrations of what this muffler sounds like in real life out in the world. Francis Liu I saw was on here earlier. He has one, and it sounds bonkers. Sounds great going down the street. It's exactly the sound we're looking for out of this car, and so this is what we're trying to build. So it jumped the octave like we were hoping it would. It doesn't kill too much mid-range, and there's other tricks that we can employ to get the mid-range back, so to speak, or more power out of the car. One thing that we know will happen is once we have the ability to tune it, when Cobb has this opened up, then we'll be able to mess with the cam timing and whatnot to make it better. Better. That's the word I'm looking for. Cheers. All right. Picture of Swan Neck. Let's get that up in center cut. Side shots, back shots. So we got the 4RS Swan Neck together. This is the prototype uprights. This is actually the wing spacing for a 992 GT3, not a 4RS. So we have some janky hardware just kind of holding it on the car. That's why you're not seeing that part of it, but that's stuff that you guys don't need to know. Can we make that full screen? Make me small. There we go. Perfect. Now I'm tiny. Nobody likes my big talking head. That's perfect. Ignore the GT3 muffler on that 4RS. Nobody look at that. Did you dine to see the power depth? Not yet. Not yet, Tim Trev. We didn't. We know from previous experience what this length will do. We need to do it on the actual muffler we're building, not on this. Excuse me. The tie muffler was just a proof of concept to see if we could get it to jump the octave the way we thought it would. That's what we're looking for. Charles spent the better part of 3 days redesigning the inside of the muffler. The only thing that's the same is the shell. Everything else is different on the inside. So it's all 3D printed to make it fit. It's like a big filled up the 3D metal printer to get everything around. You guys kind of remember, yeah, exactly. Never mind that titanium muffler behind the curtain. Don't look over there. All right, let's flip to the side one. Side view. That's a good shot. Do I need more mic? Oh, I've been told I need more mic. What front aero adjustments are needed for the Swan? Well, immediately, the nice thing about the Swan Neck, I'm going to use 992 GT3 numbers because we don't have the 4RS CFD numbers yet. We know that we're using this wing. We know that this is the way that we're putting this together because that's the right parts to use. Baseline CFD on I'll just say it this way. Baseline CFD, baseline downforce from Porsche at 124 miles an hour is 220 pounds for the entire car, for the whole car. Our wing at 124 miles an hour can make over 600 pounds if you turn it all the way up. You wouldn't do that. At around 5 or 6 degrees, it makes about 300 pounds just the wing by itself. So we get that. We get dive planes. We get the massive air pushing down on the car, evacuating underneath. We're going to see triple, quadruple the amount of downforce on the 4RS that it comes from the factory. Spit it out, man. So that's the front downforce you are asking about. What we're doing on the front is we're adding our splitter. So we're adding dive planes to the edges. The air curtain that's on the car. So everybody's all enamored with the air curtain at the very front. Is there any way you have a pointer there, Justin? Can they see you moving your mouse around? No? Okay. That's all right. You guys know what I'm talking about the air curtain in the picture we're looking at on YouTube, the very right in front of the front wheel. So that air curtain, sorry, how do you know for a fact that the 4RS Spider is the same exhaust? How do I know for a fact that the is it a challenge or a question? Yeah, the pictures are on YouTube, brother. So we're trying to get our YouTube live up. So Tim Trev, go to our YouTube channel and look on live. You'll see all of these pictures. So everybody that's still on the IG live, we're trying to get you all over onto our YouTube channel because Google searches like it better on YouTube. Just generally saying, IG is great, but IG kind of doesn't like us. So, and we can show you more on YouTube than I can on IG. We can do all kinds of things on YouTube. Are we getting more people on YouTube? Yeah. No, I mean, do we have more people showing up on YouTube? I can't tell. Okay, cool. So the question about the Spider RS. Yes, it's the same exhaust from the GT4 RS. Why? Because Porsche is a company that likes to make money. That's why. So non-4 RS, how much for us getting back versus 4? It's the same parts. So wing and front splitter for the 4 will be the same as the 4 RS. Dive planes and wing, I didn't get to where I was going. The wing can be trimmed out. So for instance, our wing at 0 degrees makes the same amount of downforce as a 992 GT3 does at maximum, but with half the drag. So it's a very efficient wing. We're going to do the same thing on the GT4. We have a number of guys running this wing on 718 GT4s already. So from a chassis standpoint, the 4RS isn't materially different. It's the same. And you just got to balance it out. You just got to balance it out a little bit. So you run it at a slightly lower angle of attack. And then when you get splitter, when you get MCS three-ways, when you get other parts on there to allow for a more aggressive angle of attack, you turn it up and you go faster. That's a good question, though. See, anybody else ask me questions? Does anyone ask any questions in YouTube? I can't see. Nope. All right, cool. I'm going to scroll back in IG, see if there's anything else. Talked about that. Okay, good. See what else. Posted that video over last weekend, over Memorial Day weekend, about the Cup car. And the ECU that we co-developed with Calibrated Performance, our friends in Australia. The result was a massive number of inquiries from the Asian Cup car owners interested in an extra 100 wheel horsepower. So that's exciting. So as we get those things across the line, we're going to be pushing those parts out. We have a gentleman with a 992 GT3 that we're going to be helping put together. We're getting those. Sorry, a bit distracted. I got to not look at the questions at the same time that I'm trying to tell a story because I want to answer all the questions. The 992 GT3 we're getting a can sniff of, and we'll have that ECU package ready to go soon. Thank you, GT3 Matty. I appreciate that. Simon's doing well with his GT4 wing as well. JGM Doc, the front of the 981 is different. Yes, the front of the car is slightly different. It has a different air dam. It isn't a splitter on the car to start with. But as far as the underpinnings and the chassis goes, all the connection points are relatively the same. So it's a little different on a 718 than a 981, but we've got all that dialed. Talk a little bit about everybody's seen that Matt Morman installed our 997 system on the 997.2 GT3 RS that he's giving away. I don't know if everyone saw it, but you should go check it out. If you're wanting a 997.2 GT3 RS for free, doesn't hurt to go enter Matt Morman's Obsessed Garage giveaway. It's not too many people giving away a $250,000 car. So it's Matt's fun to work with because he's always so excited about the parts that we put together for him. So that's always nice. That's always nice. And he's good at building excitement around them, which is great. So I think we're pulling that video up, or it's playing in the bottom. All right. Anybody else? What else we got? What else am I missing? What am I missing? Getting through our back orders. Those of you who got things, drink of the night. Calumet 15. It's delicious. And it hits hard, especially when you haven't been eating much for the day. Whee! Getting through the back orders, getting everybody's stuff sent out, including some high flyers by the name of TJ Hunt. So watch for that. That should be a fun drop when that happens. He's got some cool shit coming for his surprise 991.1 GT3 RS. So I'm hoping someday somebody surprises me with a GT3 RS as a gift. That'd be kind of wild. I don't think it's gonna. Maybe I'll surprise me with a gift for a GT3 RS. How about that? Splitter. Splitter is next after the 4RS wing. The parts are already getting fabbed up. We've just got to finish up the trim piece that goes between the edge of the splitter and the bumper. Then it's going to be suspension bits for the 4RS. So it needs some love suspension wise. So we get all the suspension bits and the aero done, and then it's take it to the track and go fast. So 911 ST thoughts. I think it's GT3 Maddie is asking upcoming 911 ST thoughts. I think it's another badge touring, in my opinion. So it's another way for Porsche to remake the same car and make more money. So, and good for them. Maybe we'll be able to sell some exhaust for it. With those of you who have 992 RSs coming, we've been asked, and we'll evaluate this. The second blade on the 992 RS is plastic. We are going to look at making it carbon, potentially enhancing it a bit. But that does mean that we need to scan someone's 992 GT3 RS and do the CFD work to make sure that we can make it better. Porsche still has to pass fuel consumption goals with their cars. So they're going to sacrifice downforce and drag for fuel economy. We don't have to. So we can still make it better. The hope is that we can potentially look at a new main plane and a new dual plane for the DRS part of the wing. That's going to be end of the year, though. Our development coffers are very, very full. What we thought was going to be our 4RS muffler a month ago is now still changing and in development. It is not the one that we thought we were going to get to market with. So the wing is moving forward. The uprights look good. The splitter's moving forward. And those uprights are going to be carbon fiber. I didn't mention that before. So these are the aluminum prototypes, but they're going to be carbon fiber. They're already in process. Our GT3 RS uprights are carbon fiber. So that's fun and should be a bit of a game changer. The way we're making it's pretty trick. They're pressed with expanding foam on the inside, so they're hollow and nice and light, very, very strong. So what's up, Icon? Good evening. What other questions y'all got for me in either channel? JGM Doc, yes. So 981, 718, and 4RS you will have a splitter for all 3 cars. They'll all be slightly different, but yes, they will all work. They'll all work. Huh? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we don't permanently modify any of it when we do this. This is all direct bolt-ons. So bolt it on, take it off, bolt the other factory stuff back on, take it off, all good. No permanent mods. No drilling, no Bondo, no repaint, none of that bullshit. These are expensive ass cars. We would not expect you to have to do something that might ruin your PTS allocation and your fluff and buff diaper getting snagged on something you had to put on the car to make it go faster. Heaven forbid. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. No sarcasm at all. Promise. None. We're probably not going to be out on track again until July 20th because we got a lot of shit to do. Cup car is getting aero as well. We're going to do a dual element for the cup car. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but we did get our big red rig back. We got Clifford back, our big Peterbilt. It is awesome. Runs great. Our friends at Dirk's Truck Repair over here in Tacoma did a stellar job. They did a full rebuild on the engine. She makes compression. She doesn't smoke. It's great. It's great. We're very, very happy. So if you have a big truck and you need it to run great, take it to Dirk's. That's my plug for Dirk's. There you go. We're race car guys, but everybody needs a truck that runs good. May have missed it, but are you making a titanium muffler for the 4RS? Possibly. So our original plan was to make a titanium muffler for the 4RS. We are redesigning the 4RS internals so that they all have to be 3D printed. We have to get appropriate quotes in titanium to make that happen. All that said, the steel muffler will have the high pitch that we're looking for based off of the redesign. So there you go. It's kind of like an answer for your question without committing too much to the answer to your question. How was the track times between the new stock RS and the 992 GT3 with you go fast parts? Fastest I got the car, GT3 Matty, was 147.15 at the Ridge, and that was in the morning before all the gravel really started being horrible. The fastest the GT3 went with all the goodies on it was 143.8, and that was in the afternoon once all the gravel was really shitty, when the track had no grip. So the consensus is the GT3 with all our goodies on it is the Taxi Rat. It's probably good for a 142, maybe even a high 141 on a good day with fresh tires. Ted drove the 4RS to a 145. So she's quick in a straight line. She is a bloody handful to keep going straight at that level. And in fact, Ted spun the 4RS in 8A at our track, trying to trail break it in and get, maybe not get greedy, but just how you would normally drive, a Porsche. And it didn't like it. It didn't like it. It exchanged the ass end for the front end almost. He got a good 90-degree spin going. So, will new splitter work with the current dive planes? Yes. New splitter will work with the current dive planes. Yes, it will. What else? Excited to get my crack pipe. Right on, brother. Crack pipe nation. A sloppy 145. Indeed. Ted was jumping from car to car to car on that day. He had a very dramatic early off-track excursion, not due to anyone's fault other than the cars deciding it didn't like to keep its brakes. I'm talking about the 992 GT3 Matty. The Shark Blue new RS was not laying down lap times. He was still breaking in the car. So Karthik was not pushing that car at all. Everybody was egging him on to, because we were all curious how fast we go, because Karthik's a good driver. He can get the car around the track very efficiently. But next time. I think the RS has a few small advantages. It's got slightly wider rubber in the front than the GT3. We've got just as much downforce as he does, and we're making more power than the RS with the modified 992 GT3. So I think it's gonna be down to the driver at that point. I think we've equalized the RS with the parts that we've got on the car for substantially less money than buying an RS, at least at the absurd ADMs that everyone's asking now. The 4RS is the one that's going to should see the most dramatic improvement, because just from a driver confidence standpoint, if we can keep the ass end in the back end of the car and the front end pointing where the front end's supposed to go, and get this power down, then the 4RS has a chance to surprise some people. No, it doesn't have double wishbone. Like, of course, that's great. It's important. It's better. But get the car some more mechanical grip. Get it some more aero grip. We're gonna see that thing do some cool shit. And this is from a non-Cayman guy. I'm a 911 like fanboy. So there you go. I feel like I'm missing something. Pumpkin update. We got all the parts for the follow-up testing on getting the 991.2 GT3 and PDK in my 997 GT3 RS done back. We have all those parts back. It's just hours in the day. So we've got to get some more of these parts for y'all across the line so that then we can do the things that we want to do with Pumpkin. Cup Club Sport, we took a cup car over to get painted. The amount of things that need to change for the bodywork to fit on the car was a little bit larger than the painter was comfortable with doing themselves, so we're going to pull it back. It's going to find its way back in our lap, get that done, move forward. So yeah. LMS GT3, can I buy Dundon's full aero package without the MCS coilover? Kind of. I'll say kind of. And the reason kind of is you cannot buy a splitter without having someone's better dampers and springs on the car. The reason why is you will destroy the parts, and then you'll call me and say, why are my parts destroyed? Or why did I crash my car? Or why did I die? And now my wife is wanting life insurance and wanting to sue Dundon Motorsports. Well, it's because we told you that you need a suspension and dampers on the car to run all of the extra downforce. I'm saving you from dying, my friend. So don't kill yourself by just wanting to pose for Cars and Coffee. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Buy the parts that are necessary to make the car work as a package, not just because you want to look cool. I don't know the reason that you wanted them. I'm not trying to denigrate, but that's typically the reason why people want to buy the full aero package, but not the other parts that actually make it all work together. So. Yeah. As Taj Sport said, wing and dive planes is good with stock suspension. If you want to do the splitter, then you need to add MCS 3-ways or the equivalent. We like our stuff because we know how it's going to work. You can, of course, buy Manthe stuff for 3 times the price, or put on. What you can't do is put Tractive on there because it doesn't work with blow off, the necessary blow off and such that you need for the splitter, et cetera, et cetera. There are other good brands. You could run Öhlins. You could run a couple other ones, but we don't support them, so you'd be on your own. Or you can use our fully vetted, completed package that's ready to tie up in a little bow and put on your car and go fast. Go fast! Woo! All right. And that's with not quite enough whiskey to really get away with that. Anybody got any other questions? We good? All right, let's call it a wrap. It's been a Whiskey Friday for June 2nd. Need some NBC Nightly News sign off. I don't have one, but yeah, totally. We need that nightly news music. We can rip it off. All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. When are you going to mod a 918? That's a good question. When somebody drops one off, that's when we can mod a 918. You folks have a wonderful weekend. It's going to be beautiful here in the Northwest, and we'll hit at you next week. Good night.